In today's video, we are going to talk about three different types of annuities, which are fixed annuities, indexed annuities, and then also income annuities. We'll discuss the following with each annuity. What is it? What is each type of annuity product? How does it work? Why would I not get one of these annuities? And then why would I get one of these annuities? Let's begin with the easiest one, which is a fixed annuity. So, how does it work? It is very straightforward. I know exactly what I'm getting. So how it works is I get a fixed rate of return with this annuity product that is typically guaranteed for a certain number of years. This is often referred to as a MYGA, which stands for multi-year guaranteed annuity. The insurance company says, here is an interest rate that we are going to guarantee you on your money for a certain number of years. You can pick the term when you start the annuity. Usually, I'll see anywhere from 2 years up to 10 years with respect to how long they will guarantee the interest rate on your money. So how it works is when you start the annuity, you know exactly what you are going to get in terms of an interest rate. Next, why would I not get one? Well, some people might express that the interest rate is too low, that they'd rather put their money elsewhere to try and get a higher return. Another reason could be the surrender fees. We'll look at these in a second. But first, why would I get one of these annuities? Well, I like the rate and the term that I see when I look at the quote. So the nice thing about this type of annuity is, again, I know what I'm getting. It's predictable. I can say, if I give you, the insurance company, $100,000, what exactly am I going to get over the next 5 to 10 years? Personally, I like it because I don't even have to think about it. So if I'm just looking to grow my money safely and I want to know what the balance will be at the end of the term, that's where this product can be a fit. Let's take a look at an example. So here is a 10-year fixed annuity. This is for a 44-year-old individual that was considering this product. Now, we see the dollar amount that they're starting out with, a deposit of $250,000. This was an annuity that was quoted in March of 2024. And I say that because we are shooting this video in May, and the rates are a little bit higher right now. Rates are typically declared on a monthly basis. We'll get them a little bit more frequently than that, depending on the insurance carrier, but typically we see what the rates are every month. So in this example, $250,000, the insurance company is saying we are going to give you 5.6%, and that is a lock for the next 10 years if you select a 10-year term. So 5.6% of 250 grand is $14,000. We have what is called your accumulation value. Anytime you look at an annuity illustration, you'll usually see your accumulation value. This can also be referred to as your account value. But then we'll also have what is called your cash surrender value. So here's how these work. The accumulation value is your account balance that is earning interest. So you can see that here because you pay $250 or you deposit $250. You got $14,000 in interest from the insurance company, and $14,000 plus $250,000 gives you $264,000. So that's how much your money grew by that year. The next year, 5.6% on 264 gives you $14,784 in interest, which grows your balance to $278,000, almost $279,000. So this is the column that's earning interest. And again, this could also be called your account value when you look at an illustration. It depends on the company. Now, why we also have this column on the far right, the cash surrender value. Remember one of the drawbacks to this product and most annuities in general? The surrender fees. The second bullet point in red. So most annuities are going to have what is called a surrender charge, which results in a surrender fee. So looking at this, we see what the surrender fees are. In the first year, it's 10%. It's also 10% in the second year. Here's what this means. If in the first year, after committing to this 10-year term, he says, I want out, assuming he's held onto it for 1 year, the accumulation value is $264, but if he cashes out, the insurance company is going to charge him 10%, which comes out to $26,400, and he would walk away with $237,000 and change. If he says, I want to cash out in year 3, and this is at the end of year 3, after he's received the interest, the charge is 9%. It's 9% of the accumulation value, which at this point in time is $294. There's the charge. That's what the insurance company keeps. And that's what he would walk away with. Now, what I just want to clarify here, because sometimes this is an area of confusion, the surrender charge represents the charge that the insurance company keeps. If this was an old IRA or old 401k, what are the IRS rules on that? If you cash it out before age 59 and a half, well, you've got to pay income tax on it in addition to a 10% penalty tax. You would have to pay that in addition to the insurance company surrender charges. So that's something very, very important to be aware of. Most people do know that before they get into an annuity. However, just from an awareness standpoint, I would appreciate it if someone just made that abundantly clear to me, because that is a lot of money going out the door. So this is the big reason why someone would not do this. Now, if they say, hey, I'm 44 now, I'm not going to use this until I'm 60 or 65 anyway, and I just want a fixed rate, that's where it can make sense. Because at the end of the 10th year, the value, $431,000, and you see there's no surrender charges anymore either, because the accumulation value is the surrender value. The charges are gone at that point in time. So a fixed annuity, again, is just a very straightforward product. I like to relate it sometimes to a CD. That's how I think of it. It's just a fixed rate for a fixed time period. I know exactly what I'm going to get, but if I cash out early, I am going to get dinged with a penalty. So that's a fixed annuity. Next, indexed annuity. How it works. Number one, I've got more upside than I do with a fixed annuity because my money can be tied to the stock market. Usually the S&P 500 index. However, there are other indexes that many insurance companies use. But I've got a lot more upside because I'm tied to the market. Now, while I'm tied to the market, usually what do people think of when they hear money tied to the market or anything to do with the market? Fear of loss. So with an indexed annuity, how it works is if the market goes up, I go up with it. If the market goes down, I won't lose any money. My principal is protected. So these can be very appealing to a lot of people for that exact reason. Now, why would I not get one? Well, number one, I don't get any growth during a down market or a small minimum guarantee. Some people don't like the idea of that. The idea of their money just being flat 1 year. They say, nah, that's not for me. That's okay, as long as we have the awareness up front. That might be one reason someone might not get one. Another reason, like the fixed annuity, surrender fees. With most indexed annuities, I usually see between a 7 and 10 year surrender period. And then last, there is limited upside on the growth. So, for example, if the stock market produced 30% 1 year, the chances are likely, just from the annuities we've seen over the years, that we're probably not going to experience the full 30% upside. I may have what is called a cap rate with my annuity. If the cap rate is 10%, just to make this example simple, market goes up by 30%, I have a cap of 10%. A cap rate caps the growth on your annuity, meaning that's the maximum you can earn that year. So you'd be capped out at 10%, therefore limiting the total upside of the market. Why would I get one? I like market upside without any risk of loss. That is the number one reason people typically look at these products, because they know the market will perform over time, but they have a hard time stomaching the loss, or they just have a lot of anxiety over it. They lose sleep, whatever it might be. This can alleviate that feeling of the money going down or seeing the money going down because it won't go down. Next, I don't need the money until retirement. Typically, we are using these products as tools in retirement. We're trying to grow the balance This way I can use it later down the road when it is time to take income. Let's look at an example, and we'll just look at it conceptually here. So first, we've got the stock market, and this is just a hypothetical example I made up. So here we go. This is someone starting with 100 grand, and he just throws it in the stock market. After 1 year, we'll pretend the market does 5%. His balance grows to 105. Next year, the market produces 20%. 20% of 105 gets him to 126. The next year, in year 3, it does 7.5%. He is going up in value. See this blue line going up? He's at 135, but then year 4, we have something similar to 2008, and he's back to where he started, a little bit higher, $101,000 and change. Then it goes up for a while, then comes down, down, up, up. He's got the yo-yo effect, but at the end of 10 years, he's grown his balance to about $170,000. He's at 168 and change. So again, this is just a made-up example of the market to demonstrate the fact that when the market goes up, you go up with it. Market goes down, you go down with it. That's investing in the market. All right, so comparing that to an indexed annuity. Here we go. What do you see with this? We're looking at the same market pattern here, and we've got an indexed annuity with this 10% cap rate. So first year, the market did 5%. The indexed annuity participated with the market, and my balance grew to $105,000. The next year, the stock market did 20%. Remember where we mentioned that an indexed annuity can limit the upside? This is an example right here. If our cap rate is 10% and the market does 20%, our maximum earnings that year is 10%. Next year, market did 7.5%. We did 7.5%. So we're going up, but if we compare this to the stock market slide, if we go back, we'll have less money by year 3. Here's where we can win with this though. 4th year, market went down 25%, we got 0. We didn't get anything, but we did not lose anything. That's where these are appealing. So you redlined here because your value did not go down. Next year, rebounds does 35%, the market that is, you earn the cap of 10%. So these years that it does better than 10%, you're only earning 10. If it earns somewhere between 0 and 10, like year 1 and year 3, you get whatever the market produced. But you can see what's going on here. Market goes up, you go up with it. Market goes down, your principal is protected. And with the same chart here, the same period of time in the market, by using the indexed annuity, you're at just about $182,000 by year 10. So conceptually, that's how an indexed annuity works. Market goes up, I go up with it. Market goes down, my principal is protected. I don't have to worry about losing money. All right, let's look at the last annuity, which is a guaranteed income annuity. So how does this work? I like to explain it like this. I'm buying my retirement. Nice illustration here is this. Pretend that you see a rental property, and this rental property has no property taxes. It will never require any maintenance. You don't have to do anything regarding following up with a tenant, maintaining the home, nothing. You buy it, the tenant moves in, and you're guaranteed they're going to pay you rent on time every single month forever, no matter what happens. Sound like a good deal? Yeah, it's a dream world because we're going to have property taxes and maintenance no matter what with rentals. With that said, we're pretending here. If I could purchase that rental property and it pays me income forever, would I do it? I definitely would. Now, with that rental property, if I could not access any of the equity, would I still do it? Would depend. Some people would, if they're just looking for the guaranteed income stream. However, a savvy real estate investor that likes to leverage his or her equity to invest in the next deal might say, that's not for me because I value accessing the principal more. So back to this, by my retirement. A guaranteed income annuity is a lot like that rental property example where I can just plop a big pile of cash into an annuity. I give it to the insurance company. I say, here's my money. They say, thank you for your money. In exchange, we're going to guarantee that you're going to have income for the rest of your life when you decide to start taking income. It's sometimes used here to replace an income gap. So what that means is if someone earns $100,000 during their working years, they retire, they've got Social Security, their spouse's Social Security, they've got a pension, maybe some other income sources. Let's say their total income is $60,000 per year. That's their fixed income. Well, if they've got a pile of cash, maybe it's an old 401k, maybe it's just money in cash that they say, I want to use this to supplement my income. They give it to the insurance company, and the insurance company will say, here's $40,000 per year in income. Now, they've got the $60K in fixed income, plus the $40K per year they've bought with that annuity. It heavily depends on the dollar amount that we give to the insurance company, but from a concept standpoint, we see that practiced a lot. I'll show you an example of that in a minute. So, why would I not get one of these? I want access to my principal, or I want to see my money grow. Now, with income annuities, there are many cases where you can access the principal. However, it can be limited. You'll also see fees associated with this, surrender fees. Also, the insurance company will often charge you an annual fee, especially if it's an annuity where I have a rider attached. It's called an income rider. There's a fee for that. So if I'm looking at the principal balance, if I've got fees associated with it, what's going to happen? It's going to go down. So if I want to access that principal and I see it going down, that from an emotional standpoint can be painful. It's also painful from a number standpoint. Now, if I want to see my money grow, this would not be my recommendation at all. Growing the principal balance does not work well with an income annuity. I would look at option 1 or 2 if I wanted to grow the money. An income annuity is a fantastic tool if you said, I just want to make sure I've got a guaranteed income stream indefinitely. Like that's why I'm interested in this product. Why would I get one? Here's a big reason why. No maintenance. Remember that rental property example? You'll never have any maintenance or property taxes. Sounds like a dream world. You can do that with this. No maintenance at all. I just say, insurance company, here's money. They turn around and say, here's income, which can start within 30 days, or you could defer it to a later date. Typically, the longer you defer it, the higher the dollar amount will be. Kind of like Social Security. I can start taking it at 62, or I can wait, and the longer I wait, the higher the monthly benefit is. I can target a certain income amount in retirement. So a cool retirement strategy we'll see with this sometimes is if someone says, hey, I want to make sure that my fixed income is 100 grand per year, whatever the income that you want is. You've got cash that you can put into an annuity, and with what you're getting in Social Security, pensions, income from other sources, whatever it might be, you're getting income, you use the annuity because it's going to guarantee income to you for the rest of your life. Now, your fixed income, what you already had, plus the income generated from the annuity, combined gives you your $100,000 per year. Now, that takes a lot of pressure off people where they feel like, okay, I can do whatever I want now with the other dollars. Whether I've got other assets that I just want to supplement my income as needed, maybe I want to give the money away while I am living, or maybe I want to keep working. Maybe I'm going to invest in real estate or do something fun with it, but I've got my locked-in income over here. This way, I don't feel like I have pressure to conserve the rest of the principal here. At least some people have felt like that when the income they want has been satisfied just through the annuity plus other income sources. Let's look at an example here. So here we go. This is the same 44-year-old individual. They get this annuity at age 44 with the same 250K. And then at 65, they're going to start taking income. Now, this is pulled directly from an illustration, and this was also a guaranteed payout. So here, if they get this annuity today at 44 years old, they know at 65 exactly what they're guaranteed. So they're buying it with the 250K today. They're buying $5,200 a month in income that the insurance company will pay them forever with this particular annuity product. So it comes out to about $62,000 in change per year. And this is in addition to everything else they have going on. If they've got other assets, if they've got rental properties, if they have cash value life insurance, when we're looking at putting an actual plan together, we've got to look at everything that's going on and then look at building the money up through the accumulation phase and then taking the money out as we start to distribute it. This can work well because it just alleviates the vice grips, especially for this couple in this case. They've got other income sources. So this will just guarantee, call it another 60 grand per year. And then they can do whatever they'd like with the rest of their money during retirement, which they don't want to stop. They want to have fun with it, with real estate, business, and a couple other things. Anyway, I hope this makes sense in terms of the income annuity and all three. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps. Thanks so much.